for me, who could be against me? I guess all the that's against me. They the ones stirring up the conflict. They try to make it out like I'm conflicted.
From the stadium that hosted Super Bowl 51 back in 2017, we are inside NRG Stadium in Houston. Today we've got an interesting Week 11 matchup on tap between the Washington Commanders and the Houston Texans. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. And we will not see a run back on the opening kickoff. This will be a touchback. Now a first carry here for Robinson. And he'll get this up just shy of the 30. Well, this defense for the Texans, they were very strong in the win last week over the Giants.
It was a little bit enlightening talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week, because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Second down and a run by Robinson. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there, good for a Washington first down. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. First carry now for Pierre Strong. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. Second down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
On second down, a run with Gibson. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. They'll run with Strong. And some room to roam now. And now off to the races down the right side. Touchdown, Washington. Pierre Strong with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Commanders get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Sly is up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. He will return this from deep in the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. First and 10 now for Mills and the Texans at their own 19-yard line. On the ground, it's Pierce to begin the drive. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11. Here's Mills. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. The 30. 10. Touchdown, Texans. Brandon Cooks hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Texans are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. And they came into play here off 2 straight victories. They're back to 500 on the year. But, Charles, is this little mini run coming too late to salvage their season?
Well, they definitely dug themselves a hole that leaves them needing to play almost perfect football from here on out. But I do believe they think that they've got this thing turned around, and they are capable of doing exactly that.
So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. Back to Robinson now on 1st down. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run. But the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start.
He's got it. Touchdown, Commanders. Curtis Samuel, 39 yards. And the Commanders have taken the lead. Well, with that touchdown pass, I'm going to bring up a point from earlier in the year. Some of the fans were saying, when do we turn to the rookie? Well, he's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, I love the fact that the fans are bringing that up because I'm not the head coach, okay? So he's got to deal with it. But I think it's a legitimate question. With the way their season is going, I think now is the time to turn the page and let him get some starts before this season is over.
This will be brought out from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And, you know, it's certainly a lot of football left to play. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're in first place in their division, looking really good and looking to be a threat come January.
And are you one of those early holiday shoppers, partner? Are you one of those guys get your list done? Because I think about what every team has on their holiday shopping list right now. What's the number 1 goal? Make the playoffs. Number 2, win your division. Number 3, and I think the biggest goal of all, try to get the number 1 seed so you get that first-round bye and ensure you don't have to go anywhere in January and hopefully get to the Super Bowl that way.
So now after the sack, Mills and the Texans needing to navigate a 3rd and long. Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An extra man here in the secondary for Washington on 3rd down. To throw, Mills. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jonathan Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. Here's Cameron Johnston now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. They'll net only 35 here following a 43-yard boot, 8-yard return. And Washington will have a short field here as they take over 1st and 10. A give up the middle to Gibson. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the blitzers, they come in a little bit high. They don't have great leverage, and they're easily blocked and turned to the side.
He's going to throw one up for the end zone. And a penalty flag comes in as that one winds up incomplete. But the contact is going to move the ball well downfield. So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll try to run with Gibson. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Washington. Antonio Gibson, his 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Commanders are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Sly is up and good. A pretty wild first quarter. 21-7, our score. Washington kick team back out there now as they will send this one away. This will be returned from deep in the end zone. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Mills on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Pierce. So he'll be stopped here for no gain. And it'll be 2nd down. The Texans at 7-2 here on the year. Their head coach, he's got them believing in themselves. They've won 7 of their last 9 games now.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
And he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, here's Mills. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston, now as he sends this one away. A 40-yard punt, 5 yards on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. And they've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So, to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us.
The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. With a play fake, and now here's how to throw it. And he will find his man, Samuel. 30, 20. Well, we knew he was close to the line of scrimmage, and they say he stepped over.
Well, when you see him in that position, you think he's become a runner. As a DB, you start to react towards the line of scrimmage. They can often throw it over your head.
Now, right where this set of downs started, they need a full 10 here to pick up the first down and move the chains. Powell throwing on 3rd down here. Flush to his right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted.
He's been having a good day so far, but I think he got a little overzealous on that one. Still young in this league. Has to learn to try not to do too much on an individual play because, as we all know, sometimes less is more. And throwing away is preferable to making the big mistake.
Mills now looks to throw on 1st down. Cooks on the quick slant. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they're having panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
1st and 10, it's Pierce. Bobby McCain here, the one who brings him down.
I really like the vision he displayed on that play because he saw there wasn't a lane to completely break off a huge gain. So he found where there was the most space and got what he could. A nice, dirty run that's a positive play for the offense.
Play action now. Mills. Out. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Cole Holcomb proving too much there for the offensive line. He gets the sack. These sacks now, they're starting to pile up, Charles. And that front 7 defensively, they've had their way with this offensive line.
And I think at this stage, we have to start thinking about different play calls. We've got to start helping this quarterback out because the entire game he's been under siege. I don't care what the down and distance. They've got to get the ball out of his hands a lot quicker.
And the pressure gets to him again. Montez Sweat, he's the one to get him this time, and back-to-back sacks brings up 4th down. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And the Commanders will take over, but backed up deep in their own territory. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They have been red hot, sometimes white hot here in this first half. They're just looking to add to that total right now.
And this has to serve as a reminder to myself because so many times I get wrapped up in the play calling, how they sequence things, how it's run. But, you know, at the end of the day, it's still execution. Those guys out on the field, and right now they are locked in and really looking good.
They'll try to continue to be locked in here as we get ready to approach halftime. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, you know me, whether you need it or not, I'm going to give a little unsolicited advice. Just throw it downfield out of the pocket only if you're absolutely sure. Otherwise, use your running ability and try and get those yards a safer way.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off play action. It's Howell. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a 1st down. Some boos coming down right now from this home crowd after that call.
Yeah, and that was because of the pass interference call, but for a second there I thought maybe they'd gotten a look at my appearance as Othello in the high school play.
You were Othello?
Not a good one, let me tell you.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Running left, it's Strong. They'll take it past the 40 to the 41, second down.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
But Washington looked to get this one back, and indeed they did. They will still have possession.
We always hear a lot of veterans on the defensive side of the football. They talk about smelling blood in the water, putting pressure on a rookie. They got to him there to force it free, but couldn't recover it.
And you mentioned the pressure. Rookie quarterback, you're going to bring more pressure at him at all times because you don't know how he's going to hold up. He was fortunate there. Luck was on his side, able to recover that fumble.
Got this complete to Jahan Dotson. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts,
as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
Now that's all about making something happen as a quarterback, because instead of forcing something on 3rd down, how about him buying some time outside of the pocket, waiting for someone to come open, and when he did, he put it on him for a big play and a first down.
Eluding the pressure right, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Now another timeout called for by the offense, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Powell flushed out right. And they'll get this just to the 47, 1-yard gain.
The plan was clearly to challenge them by sending a blitz on 2nd down, but even the extra guys couldn't catch him in the backfield, though. He didn't scramble for a first, but he does get the last laugh by evading the blitz and getting beyond the line of scrimmage.
So we have come upon halftime, and it's the visiting group from Washington who are out on top.
As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. The Texans down on the scoreboard, but they do get the first crack here as we are back underway in the second half.
Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And he'll be dropped at the 21-yard line, so bringing it out of the end zone proves not a good decision, loses him about 4 yards.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Charles, it'll be interesting to see what adjustments this offense made in the locker room. Haven't really been able to get anything going offensively, virtually nothing in the ground attack either, so certainly something has to change here in quarter 3.
And I'm pretty sure their friends from the defensive side of the ball told them exactly that, because those guys, the stop troops, they've been playing pretty well. They've kept them around in this game. Now they've got some time. The running game struggled in the first half. Opposition knows how to focus on defending the pass here. They've got to re-energize that ground game and maybe open things up for a comeback here in this half.
They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw.
And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
Mills from the gun on 3rd down.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
So possession goes over here on the punt.
And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense.
handoff to start it out. Robinson.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he'll be stopped at about the 38 after a pickup of 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball-controlled football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Robinson will try to pick it up.
And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Give him the third down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a first down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
On 1st and 10, it's Strong.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds.
68 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. Straight ahead, Gibson.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40.
7 yards there and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
On first down, right back to Gibson.
And they went the wrong way there. Losing yardage back at the 43-yard line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
And that's exactly what you're looking for at the inside linebacker spot. Versatility. He can drop into coverage, or as he did on that last play, use his speed to get to the perimeter and knock the ball carrier for a loss.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And the ball moved up here now to 2nd and 7 following the penalty. Straight ahead, it's Robinson.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
It'll go down as a 2-yard loss, and it brings up a 3rd down.
Sometimes in the run game, you can make the argument that quickness beats size. And how about the example right here?
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd.
From the gun on 3rd down, Howell. Targeting Thomas on the out route, making the catch.
So the completion gets him just a yard, and that's going to make it 4th down.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, one of the maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. And I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half.
So this drive maybe didn't end with the same kind of success they had in the first half, but they do add 3 to their lead.
And defensively, I think they went in there at halftime and made a pact with each other and said, look, we can't let these guys keep driving it right down our throats. Not perfect giving up 3, but a much better start than the way they played in the first half.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
On 2nd and very short, Mills. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards that time for number 12 as they move the chains. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
A first down throw for Mills.
Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Jordan. And he'll go out near midfield at the 49.
Again, it's Mills.
And it's knocked away and incomplete.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Mills. It's caught left side by Cooks.
And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 40.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter.
This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First down, Mills. Open man is Jordan, the tight end.
And he gets us down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Throwing again on 2nd down. Mills escaping the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. Well, your QB's been sacked 4 times in the game already, and they're the holding call.
And you know darn well the offensive line coach is frustrated and upset that he's been hit that many times already. He doesn't really care that they hold now. Just don't let him get hit anymore.
Mills now on 2nd down.
And this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's letting it fly for Cooks.
And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
Mills, 4th down, gotta have it.
And that's complete to Cooks. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Texans tried it, but they come up empty here on 4th.
And Washington will have it on the turnover on downs. Out there set and ready for this next drive, the Washington offense. They'll start on.
Oh, now he's stripped. He lost the football.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
2nd and short now following the fumble. A handoff for Gibson.
And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Now the Texans will use one of their 2 remaining timeouts. That's going to leave them with just 1 remaining here in this 4th quarter.
On 1st and 10, it's Gibson.
A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Once more, Gibson.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston territory.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
Washington on 3rd down.
They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just a step behind whatever they're doing offensively.
And one of the differences in this game, no doubt, 3rd down conversion, and that is going to be a story they'll talk about after this one. Here's the first carry for Tariq Cohen. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
2nd down and a run by Robinson.
And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 3rd down, here's Gibson.
And he's got some space here. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
64 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Starting to feel a little to me like the air is coming out of the balloon, so to speak, defensively.
They're taking their will from them right now. That's what they're doing. Whatever they want to call, it's working. They're handling things up front, and it's not just the offensive line. It's everyone. You're seeing the guys on the perimeter blocking downfield and making sure that they're secure. So, yeah, you're exactly right. The air's out of the balloon, and right now they're almost lifeless.
And here he'll get it down to the 7. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now.
Robinson up the middle.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here.
Now they go play action with Howell.
And he finds McLaurin.
Touchdown, Washington.
Terry McLaurin from 8 yards out.
And the Commanders are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is now 24. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And this is going to be returned from the middle of the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And their 4-game win streak very much in jeopardy as they go to work here late with a 1st and 10.
And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Montez Sweat picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Mills. That'll be caught. It's the tight end, Howard. He's at the 30. 10, 5, touchdown, Houston. O.J. Howard, 93 yards.
And the Texans get a bit closer. Well, Charles, he's still a young signal caller in this league, 2nd year in the NFL. But I don't know if last year as a rookie if he would have worked through his progressions like he did on that touchdown pass.
I think you're right about that. We're seeing him grow up right in front of our eyes because when he went to his primary read, he recognized that they were all over that. So he continued to survey the field, picked up another target, delivered a pass exactly where it needed to be. A very mature play for the 2nd-year quarterback.
That's caught at the 1. And he's going to get in for the score. And the lead now cut to 14. Down 2 scores, out of timeouts. A must recover if they're going to have any shot. And they've got it. They recovered it. But hang on now, though. There's a penalty flag down.
Well, CD, you understand. I mean, they're so eager trying to get back in this game here in the 4th quarter, but they touched that one a little too early before it went 10 yards.
Brandon, it's such a high-stakes scenario. Everyone's feeling the pressure on this play. The special teams coordinator, which one is he going to pick in terms of kicks? Can the kicker execute it? Can the team wait for 10 yards? So many variables, and in this case, they didn't get it done.
And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. You'd have to think likely another running play coming here, 2nd and 11. That one looks like he'll throw here. This will be caught. It's Samuel.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson.
And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
On 2nd down, a run with Strong.
And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. They give those 2 yards right back, and now they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college, and how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will extend their lead even further. So with that, you figure this game's pretty much out of reach at this point.
Yeah, it's going to take a heck of a comeback to come from 3 scores down, but don't change that channel. Don't go away. Miracles can happen, and you want to be here in case it does.
You're a company man.
Aren't I, though?
And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better, and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
We'll see if they go back to base. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. Looking to throw again on second down. Mills. He's got it to Collins, complete. One last shot from Mills. He's going to let it fly. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. So a victory here for the Commanders. And it was a game where they were off and running in the first quarter, Charles, and never looked back.
You know, partner, after a while, we always say the same thing, don't we? They set the tone early, right? They started fast. So I asked a few of my horse racing friends, do you have a term for me that we can use to cover that? And they said, yeah. When a horse breaks out like that, you say you caught a flyer out of the gate. And that's exactly what this team did today. I mean, they jumped out there, jumped on them, and were never headed.
So for the Commanders, they move back over 500 now at 6-5. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Atlanta Falcons. Meanwhile, for the Texans, they come back to the pack a bit as their record falls to 7-3. And they'll look to regroup next week as they head down to Miami to take on the Dolphins. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll